What's going on, guys? Johnny Bubbles back with another video. Today we are going to be applying a pair of sole shields to these blue tint Yeezy V2s. But before we do that, we have to clean the outsoles because Steve has worn these I think 1 or 2 times, so they're not too bad. But as you can see, it still has some dirt. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, so typically we only clean one shoe, but for the purpose of this video, I am going to apply sole shields on both of them because I'm going to show you how to do it the wrong way, and then I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. But I'm going to go ahead and put the left one to the side first. And the only brush I'm going to be using is our stiff bristle brush along with our 4-ounce bottle solution, which does come in our 4-ounce 3-brush pack, which is available at Reshoevn8r.com, so make sure you go shop now. So the first step is to grab your bottle of solution, pour some squirts, and then begin cleaning the outsole with our stiff bristle brush. All right guys, the outsole is cleaned up on the right shoe. Go ahead and check that out. It's looking really crispy. Now I'm going to go ahead and move that one to the side and begin cleaning the left shoe the same exact way. All right guys, the outsoles are cleaned up. Look at that, boot's cleaned up pretty nice, and so did the outsole, the rest of the outsole. Now, I know you're wondering, well, I mean, what's the purpose of cleaning it or applying a sole shield if it was already worn? One of the things that our sole shields are going to do, not only keep the sole shield clean, but it's also going to slow down the oxidation process. So a lot of times when you have an icy bottom, you might see it like turn that yellowish or like brownish color. That's due to oxidation from wear. The sole shield is going to go ahead and slow down that process. So even if you've worn your shoes a few times, still apply sole shields. Just make sure you do cleaning beforehand. All right guys, that's going to wrap it up for the cleaning portion of this video. I'm going to go ahead and move these off to the side, clean this off, and then we'll be right back. Fast forward, 8 Now that the table's all cleaned off with the 4-ounce 3-brush kit that you can buy at Reshoevn8r.com, make sure you go ahead and shop right now. Hit that subscribe button below and make sure you leave a comment below what shoe you'd like to do next. Moving on from that is our sole shield application. What comes in our sole shield are going to be 2 pairs of sole shields in here that fit up to about size 13.5. They're cut by 14 length, so 14 inches I should say, so you can fit up to around a size 13 or a 14 if you don't mind it almost covering it all. But it's also going to come with 4 traction pads to go ahead and give you grip, and alcohol prep pads, which I will not be using since I already cleaned it using our 4-ounce 3-brush kit. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to put that one to the side. I'm only going to do 1 shoe for right now. The materials you're going to need are a heat gun, scissors, and a pen or a Sharpie, whichever one you want to use is up to you. But back to the heat gun, you want to make sure you guys use a heat gun, not a blow dryer, because it's not going to produce enough heat. We get a lot of questions about it, whether a heat gun is needed or a hair dryer can be used. You definitely want to get a heat gun. You can find one at your local hardware store for around like 15 bucks. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put this one to the side as well so it's not in my way. So the sole shields are going to have 2 sides. It's going to have 1 shiny side and 1 matte side. You want the matte side facing upward. Go ahead and place the shoe right there in the center like so. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trace around the shoe. V2s are a little tricky because they have these little ridges on the midsoles, but you don't have to be perfect. Just make sure you don't mark up the shoe and make sure you don't go too far out, all right? Now that the tracing is done, let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. Now, when you cut the trace mark out, you want to cut inside of the lines. I mean, you can cut on the outside if you want, it's personal preference, but remember, the more out you go, the more film that's going to go over the midsole. So it's up to you if you want a higher sole shield on the midsole, then obviously cut outside the line. but if you want to be right on it, then definitely cut inside of the line. All right guys, as I'm cutting, as you can see, even though there's ridges, I'm still cutting straight across because unfortunately there is no way around tracing V2s without getting ridges unless you go pretty far out. So what I'm doing is I'm just basing the bottom layer right here as my line. So before I apply these to the shoe, guys, one more tip I want to give you. If it's your first time trying sole shields, you want to make sure when you're cutting it, you take your time. There's no need to rush. As you can see, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see down here, I kind of cut not so rounded, but I mean, it's going to work the same. It's going to be fine. So make sure you just take your time. Don't rush through it. Don't rush perfection. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the shoe. What I like to do is I like to hold it in between my legs like so. So if you could do it while sitting down, that's great. Grab the sole shield. I like to do it from the heel to the toe. So that's what I peel off first. Not that it matters, you can peel off the toe however you want, it's up to you. So with the sticky side, as you can see, once you peel it off, there will be this sticky side that you will apply to the bottom of the shoe. You want to make sure you just get it on there right before you start applying heat. So this part is going to be personal preference, guys. You want to make sure, I mean, for me, I want to make sure that it's even all around, so that way it's not too high on the left, too high on the right. This looks pretty good. So I'm going to show you what it looks like before I apply any heat. We do get a lot of questions about it. Believe it or not, there's sometimes we get photos of sole shield applications with it looking like this, and there's no heat applied, and they're like, yo, the sole shield isn't sticking to the shoe. And honestly, it's not gonna stick unless you apply heat. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and attach a photo right here, Aaron, boom, showing you guys a picture that a customer sent us applying a pair of sole shields, which was the wrong way. So with this shoe, I'm gonna show you how to do it the right way. Then when I do it with that shoe, I'm gonna show you how to do it the wrong way. So let's keep on going. So now that I am happy with the placement of the sole shield, I'm gonna go ahead and just apply pressure all around before I apply heat. Remember guys, the more pressure you apply before the heat, the better it's gonna stick to the shoe. All right, I think I am satisfied with the pressure that I've applied before applying heat, guys. One more time, I wanna stress, this step is important. More, I would say just as much important as applying heat. If you're not applying pressure before the heat, it's not gonna stick well to the shoe. So you wanna make sure you get in all the grooves as much as you can. Obviously the sides aren't gonna stick as much, but they're not rose or risen. Is that the right word? How do you say it? Risen? Risen? They're not rising like they were before I applied any pressure. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply heat. And like I said, I like to go from heel to toe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it between my legs like this. You wanna make sure you have yourself a towel or one of our microfiber towels you can find at Reshoevn8r.com. Go ahead and shop right now. This is gonna save you from burning your hand and allow you to apply pressure while you apply heat, and you're gonna wanna apply pressure. And I'm gonna show you how to do it the right way. Once again, when we get to the other shoe, I'm gonna show you how to do it, how not to do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it the wrong way, the next shoe. So let's go ahead and get started. Put that to the side. So the heat settings on this gun only have a cold or a hot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it on hot. Before I get started with this, you do wanna be careful, guys. Every heat gun's different, so some might be harder than others. You wanna make sure you don't apply too much heat. Although applying heat is a crucial step, you don't wanna apply too much heat because you could burn the sole shield, make it peel, or you could even damage your shoe, so be careful. Whoa. All right guys, before I continue doing the rest of the shoe, one quick tip I want to give you guys. When you're applying sole shields, whether any shoe, doesn't matter, what I like to do is I like to do a little down in a row action. You never want to drag it, because what's happening is you're heating up the plastic for the sole shield. So if you pull it, you might stretch it out and it might tear. So you can either do the roll that I like to do, is a little quick little roll like this. Make sure it gets all the air bubbles out. You can tap it, you can dab it, however you want to do it, but never pull on it, guys, because if you're gonna pull on it, you're gonna tear it most likely. All right, guys, so I have half of the outsole done. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but you can see it's more obviously adhered to the bottom right here and not so much at the top. It's just from the first application when I first pressed down. Before I get on to the rest of the shoe, I do want to point out these little square little spaces right here. We get a lot of questions about them. Unfortunately, when you apply sole shields, you're gonna get air pockets in those holes. So it's not gonna allow us to put pressure into them and make the sole shield apply. So you may hear some squeakiness to it. Unfortunately, there's just nothing else we can do because it creates air pockets. So that is just a quick tip or a warning beforehand. But if you don't mind a little squeaky to keep the value of your shoe up there, then I would honestly prefer a squeaky shoe than a shoe that costs less for resale purposes. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and continue. All right, guys, so I am done applying heat to the entire outsole, trying to make sure that it sticks. I know Aaron said you can't really see it, but there's 3 little air pockets right in this little vicinity right here, which hopefully will come out during wears, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do about it. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is hit up the outsole one more time with heat, making sure that I have all the sides flaps down, so that way no dirt goes inside and they don't come off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and apply traction pads. So let's go ahead and finish this up. All right, guys, so the next step is to get our traction pads. You could put them anywhere you want. I typically do the heel and then this little middle section of the toe, but it's really up to you. You can cut these. I see people cut these into like little triangles and then put some in the middle. It's all up to you. You do get a total of 4, 2 for each shoe, but for the purpose of this shoe, I'm just gonna go ahead, peel it like so, apply it right there where I get the most traction. Take our second one. Good. All right, guys, now that the traction pads are applied, as you can see, one more tip, if you want to, you can apply heat to the traction pads just like you do the sole shield and apply more pressure. Exact same step. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on these just so that way it adheres a lot better to the sole shield. So as you can see, with the heel, I applied heat. It looks a lot better than up here where I haven't applied heat yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, there it is, guys. That's gonna wrap it up on this right shoe. As you can see, they applied pretty nicely. One thing I do wanna point out, guys, is, can you see that, Aaron, that it's a little over the midsole here? If you want to, there's this little crease right here. You can take an X-Acto knife and just go ahead and cut along the crease and remove the excess sole shield. It's up to you. I'm not gonna do it on this pair because it's a Steve's pair and I could care less. But I'm going to put this one to the side, grab the right shoe now, and show you guys how not to apply sole shields. So let's do it. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna take this right shoe and I'm gonna place it on the matte side of the sole shield, just like the first one. Take our Sharpie or marker, whatever you want, and go ahead and trace. We're gonna check that out. Now, for this one, I'm gonna cut on the outside of the line just to show you guys what the difference is. All right, guys, now that the sole shield is cut out, as you can see, I went ahead and cut out from the outside instead of the inside this time. I'm gonna go ahead and grab our shoe, place it in between our legs, and peel it. No need to worry about the marker stains because that's gonna be left on the matte side, which doesn't transfer over to the sticky side. Go ahead and just place it on the shoe. Get my placement right. All right, guys, I am happy with the placement of the sole shield. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just apply pressure on the heel, but I'm not gonna apply pressure to the front half of the shoe, just to show you guys what the difference is when you apply heat to the back, when you apply pressure and when you don't. Cool, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is apply heat to the back. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the towel and then I'm gonna pull back and show you guys exactly what happens when you don't do like a little dab from the inside out or a little roll. It's probably gonna rip. If not rip, it's gonna create a little wrinkle. So let's go ahead and do that now. So as you can see, by just dragging the sole shield, it creates these creases. And once that happens, guys, there's no turning back. There's nothing you can do about it. So you wanna make sure you don't pull against the heated plastic. All right, guys, so now on this section of the outsole, I wanna show you that it's starting to flare up right here on the sides. This is what happens when you don't apply enough heat and you don't apply enough pressure beforehand. So you can take the heat gun, which I'm gonna do now, apply a little heat, and that's honestly not gonna do anything for you. So if your sole shield looks like this section, you probably don't have enough heat on it. So you wanna make sure that you do get enough heat. So look at those. I'm not sure if you can see it up over here. It's not really adhered to the outsole. All right, guys, so one more thing I'm gonna show you is applying heat to the section where I have not applied pressure. You're gonna see that it's not gonna adhere as much. You may need more heat, or you think you need more heat. What you end up doing is applying too much heat and causing either damage to the outsole or damage to the sole shield itself. So as you can see, it's not in the creases as well as the corners are sticking up just as much as it was on this side. I can obviously apply pressure right now that I'm applying heat, but with that, the sole shield is probably not gonna stick very well and not stay on for that long. So that's where you have the issue with you wore it a few times and then it fell off, is because you didn't apply enough pressure before applying heat. All right, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna go ahead and apply heat to the rest of the sole shield, apply pressure, and then apply the traction pads like we did on the other left shoe. All right, guys, now that they have the sole shield on the shoe applied with heat and everything, let's go ahead and get our traction pads. Remember, each sole shield does come with 4 traction pads, 2 for each shoe. For this one though, I am not gonna apply any heat on these traction pads. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply them. They'll still stick and they'll still stay on, but that's just one extra tip from Reshoevn8r to apply some heat to the traction pads as well. All right, let me go ahead and grab the left shoe and show you a side-by-side comparison of what they look like. This one's the one done the right way, and this one's done 3 different types of ways, but obviously I finished it off with more heat, but still didn't apply more pressure like I did on this one. So you might see that the grooves on this one are really indented, and these not so much. All right, guys, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this sole shield application video. If you still have any questions, make sure you leave a comment below. Let us know what you're still unsure about. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. Once again, guys, the products that were used were the Reshoevn8r sole shields and the stiff brush and 4-ounce bottle solution. They can be found on any one of our advanced 3-brush kits or 4-ounce 3-brush kits. That is available at Reshoevn8r.com, so make sure you go shop now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. Turn on that notification bell to get notified every time we drop a video. Don't forget, we are dropping a pair of Yeezys every month this year. So if you want to win, you have to be subscribed, because honestly, who doesn't want free Yeezys, guys? But that's gonna wrap it up, guys. I'm Johnny. I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.